Morgan badges. Morgan. So I've been watching some stuff to do with this wildfires in California, and I mean I was you know, these wildfires are popping up fucking everywhere, and you hear about the comebacks from the right to this is always mismanagement. It's mismanagement to this level. No, and what gets me is that America builds with wood, but builds a lot of their houses with wood. I mean, it just we have people never heard of the Great Fire of London? So I mean, these fires are gonna apparently the cost of damage already is something like 50 or 60 billion dollars worth of damage. That's ridiculous. So are we heading to a point, because there are several points in history where it seems like when I say this, like, do remember I'm coming from a paleontological perspective, so I'm not just talking a couple of thousand years ago. No, over the past, I'm just going from 250 million years ago. Okay, rough beginning of the age of of the Mesozoic. So we have what we think are deposits of wildfires over these millions of years, and it usually corresponds to points where global temperatures rose drastically. Now, seems to be this assumption from people that all geological events take place over millions of years. Really need to correct people on this. We know volcanic events don't just happen over millions of years, right? I mean, yeah, they do. I mean, they build up over millions of years and then they go pop and poof, right? But whilst we think we have all of the Earth covered, we don't. Who the fuck knows what's going on in Russia? The Siberian traps have also been a thing, and that was in the Permian period, before the dinosaurs. The Siberian traps are where this caldera volcano, and it's had lava leaking out for millions of years. And over those millions of years, caused like the largest extinction event of all time. But day one, like even on localized time, over over a couple of decades, was already causing extinction event. was already causing things to die and go extinct. And we're talking over a massive, and we're in Russia, like in Siberia. We're, we're talking about a massive stretch of land. And then we go to Deccan traps, which is going off 65 million years ago, and contributed to the death of the non-avian dinosaurs. The Earth has seen drastic climate change events, or drastic geological events which cause drastic climate change events. And in a relatively short space of time, like, these things happen, but the effects go on for millions of years. Like, the opening of the volcano would have happened over, say, like 50, from say a couple of days to maybe a couple of decades to fully open up, right? But the actual event, would have happened fairly quickly, yeah. And then so I really think people misunderstand what a geological event is. I mean, when Anak Krakatoa went off, it was a couple of years ago in Indonesia. It didn't just go, and then, like, it's been like going over like millions of years. No, it went with one big fucking explosion. Just like the explosion in Beirut, except bigger. So, yeah. Please pay attention to what you're saying. And instead of just trying to have a smart argument for me, actually do your fucking research. I've been learning. I don't know everything about this. I'm still learning. But I've been learning this shit all of my life. So please don't treat me like a joke. Just because I don't have the doctorates or anything like that. This has been the primary base of my education. Or of my preferred education. Since I was like 6. Maybe younger than that. So when it comes to climate change, I know that what's happening now is just the next part of what has come before. Except we have sped up a process that would ordinarily have taken hundreds of or thousands of years. And we've sped it down to a couple of hundred max. It's ridiculous. And the drilling and stuff, releasing pressure in certain areas of the planet. Now, this isn't confirmed. This is just something that I feel is just a bit dangerous. Emptying these pockets of oil out, releasing pressure in the crust. Surely that weakens the crust. Just saying. As in the Earth's crust, Biden talking about Biden fucking weird, man. Like what? In some level, he's been an absolute fiend, right? Like with his support for Israel and all that bollocks. And then at other times, he's done some really base shit. Like this recently with the banning pretty much 3/4 of or like 80% of the American coastline from drilling. What? And he's apparent. I don't know the veracity of this next part of the claim, but apparently he's done it in a way so that it's going to make it difficult for Trump to rescind. Where did what? Why did where were you fucking hiding this, Biden? Like okay. Now, no, this doesn't mean I don't think that Biden's not a fiend anymore, because he fucking is for his support for Israel. So yeah, swings and roundabouts. But you know, yeah, swings and roundabouts. Um, yeah, come back to these wildfires. Yeah, I was looking at these at some of the footage, and I'm like, it's colder air, colder, drier air coming down from the north. Is what one of my questions. And my next question after that is just how much of California is wood houses and how much is brick? I do wonder. So I you've got all these rich peoples. I feel what's somewhat amusing is that a lot of these houses that have been burned are wealthy neighborhoods. So, maybe these like wealthy at least some of these wealthy people even go if they have beards. Hmm, is this climate change thing real? Might be. See, what people don't understand, what the ignorant don't seem to understand is that the just because the 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 globe is warming, we've got polar ice caps, so the the weather kind of gets more volatile between the latitudes where it's cold and where it's warm. Yeah, think of the globe, right? So okay, we use a symbol in the background, right? So up where the point of the sword is, right, North Pole. Then you got this latitude here, right, which is the temperate and tropical regions, and then we got the South Pole down here. Yeah. Now with global climate change, you start getting a lot more cross betweens with uh, in between the seasons, because you've also got to remember the Earth isn't just like on like a straight axis like that. It's like that, and it wobbles. Yeah, and our travel around the sun isn't isn't completely perfectly round, circular. So yeah, like the weather changes. So really, we should do, say, North Pole and then South Pole. Yeah, North Pole, South Pole, and then it like this region in between here. So we're going on that axis there. The weather. So going just for America would be this side of the map, right? The the air pressure up here is lower. Is it lower? Pretty sure it's lower than it is down here. And the changes in air pressure usually kind of not regular, but you know fairly okay. But right now they're spiking at random events. Yeah, this is going to happen a lot more often. It's going to keep happening a lot more often. And we haven't even touched. That's not even touching on sea level. So, but we're not touching sea levels right now. We're just talking about the dry cold air coming down from the north. Because you see, when I've looked at the maps, a lot of these fires seem to be happening in the northern end. Not all of them, but a lot of them seem to be happening in the northern end of California, which is telling to me. I have to do some more research to solidify what I just said there, but given what I already know, I have to double it again. What I need to double check is the maps to double check where the wildfires have been happening in California, but it seems like the concentration of them have been in the north, like between the mid to north California, with a few happening towards the south. So it seems to me like the cold, dry air is partly driving this. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think. Sorry, I was going a bit down a bit of a rabbit hole there. But let me know what you guys think. You know, why should the houses there continue? Should they continue to build with wood or should they build with brick instead? What do you guys think on that one? Um, what do you guys reckon about the mismanagement claims from the right about Democrats, like mismanagement of forests and stuff? What do you guys reckon about you know the arguments against the climate change deniers? And what are your thoughts on all of this? Let me know. Let me know. So, my shield at your backs, guys. My sword at your service. Blessed be, badgers. God with.